Hey guys, it's Boyan, and today we're reviewing the new Valkyrie Paragon bundle worth $50. Anyways, in this video we're going to be talking about the bundle and we're going to try to justify it, just tell you everything about it and some things you should know. So yeah, let's just get straight into the video. Now first off, this bundle comes with 9 items. 2 legendary weapon skins, 1 mythical weapon skin, 1 mythical uniform and headgear, a mythical charm, a mythical animated card, a legendary gadget skin, a legendary badge, and a legendary MVP. And while you are getting the same amount of content as Elite, you're getting way better content and content that you're actually going to use. As well, this bundle gives us a new rarity, mythical, which is there to probably justify the price, as well a new tag for the MPX, Mastercraft, which I'll talk about later on it. Anyways, let's just look at the contents first. Now the star of the show is the MPX, and this gun is just amazing. Look at it. It has this angel wings design to it, and there's just so much color and life to the skin. And first off, the animation, which I probably won't start talking about, but this is perfect. You have this constant color animations that you can see and notice in your weapon skin. The gun is pretty bulky, but in a good way. You can see a lot of your gun, which is good because you want to at least see the thing you bought. And there's one little neat thing about the gun, because when you inspect it, it does this. Pretty cool, right? Yep. This gun has a unique animation, which is pretty cool. When you inspect your gun, it turns into a sword gun thingy or whatever, which is pretty cool in that. You kind of swing it around and all that stuff, and it looks really sick in that, and I just love it in that. And it kind of reminds me of my autistic childhood, where I used to play with a lighter and pretend it was a lightsaber. 4 died that day. It's pretty clean too. As well, when you reload, it does this. And if you're empty, it does this. This is pretty freaking cool, guys. I just love this shit. There is so much detail and style in the skin, and I'm sorry, but to all the ants that say Black Ice and Glacier are the best skins in the game, and this is the best skin by far in the game. Not even including the reload or the inspect, just the skin itself with animation, it is the best. The best. As well, the gun still works on Tuberel and Warden, so the reloading and inspect still works on both of them. So if the enemy team bans Valkyrie, at least you can play them. Sadly, you can't use the MVP though. As well, I have 2 attachment skins that'll go good with the skin. First off is Lifeblood Flower, which I mostly use, and it's a really nice skin with the combos with the entire skin, especially because it has blue and gold, which the skin has. As well, you could also use the Sleek Lethality, which also combos with the skin, but mostly the animation, as it's, you know, has like that little sparkle and blue and all that stuff. I like this attachment skin, but I prefer Lifeblood Flower in my opinion. Now, one thing that surprised me is that for most Elite bundles, I know this isn't Elite bundles, but the weapon skins are more of an afterthought rather than being something you buy it for. But in this bundle, not just the Mastercraft, but the 2 weapons you also get are really good. First off, you have the Spaz 12 weapon skin, and oh my, this skin is amazing. This gun is really beautiful with its design and shape. You even have like a little face or whatever. While the other 2 guns kind of look like the original's guns in shape, this model is completely reformed in my opinion. Like, it looks like a completely different gun. If you show me this image, I wouldn't be able to guess if it was a Spaz 12. Or probably I could guess it's a Spaz 12. But it kind of like looks like a completely new gun. As well, this gun has just a lot of animation. It has like the same like kind of color as the uniform skin, so this one actually comes really well. As well, the D50 is a really nice skin. I do like it a lot. This does have less animation than the Spaz 12. However, the text on the gun does also shine lightly. As well, inspecting your gun, you can see this really cool scroll like cylinder connects your hand grip with the text on it. It took me a while to find out what it was actually saying, but after poorly typing into ChatGPT, it said Enroll me for a reward. Be a defense to me against evil. In Latin. I actually really like this skin even more after finding out what it means. Now we got the outfit, and this is probably one of the best outfits in the game. For starters, you're gonna notice a lot of color within the skin, and it's a lot. Compared to even membership skins, this just steps on them. This skin has so much animation and glow everywhere, which I really like. The design of the skin is pretty much perfect. Looking at the headgear, the character has this battle helmet that's kind of mixed with a tactical helmet, which is pretty cool. You have these angelic glass design on the helmet that also glows with the purple animation, but the uniform has tons of animation on pretty much everything. She has some feathers on her shoulders as well. She has this battle armor across her body with a mix of modern stuff like a bandolier across her torso, as well as having her magazines on her side. She also has this weird rectangle thing that glows. Now the only thing in gameplay you're really going to see is your hands. You can't really see your outfit in that. The hand models are actually pretty good because you can see your armor guard as Valkyrie that's animated, and you also have little rings on both of your fingers that are also animated in that. I like how the skin's also based off of Valkyrie because, you know, her name's Valkyrie. A lot of people say that they don't like elites that don't relate to the character. However, I think this is a great skin and it kind of relates to the character as, you know, the name in that. A fair thing to know though is that the skin is pay to lose, as you are more visible when you're in dark areas. However, with outline, you're still going to stand out. We also got a skin for the gadget, which is pretty cool. That is also animated. Has the same texture as the uniform's purple shimming thing inside of it. I really like the gadget skin, and it's way better than most of the gadget skins in the game, which all feel like they just changed the hue of the skin. A lot of people might think that the skin is pay to lose, and yes, you can see the animation and glow in the dark. However, since the start of the season, all Intel gadgets have their lights on always now, so honestly there is no real disadvantage. Now we're going to discuss the MVP. TBH, I don't like it. It's kind of weird. It's very cartoony, but it just looks stupid. Kind of her just swinging it around and shit, and all that stuff, and then turning it a gun and blah, 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 the pose. Like, I know it's not basic. It's better than most elites where it's just like the character standing there and then doing something stupid. But this one here, it's like too much to the point where it just looks stupid. I rate it better than others, but it is not my type of style. As well, a new item's introduced in the game, and it's animated cards. Now, this is pretty much just the pose and the background just combined in one, and both being animated. We've seen animated cards before, with of course the animated backgrounds like the Reigning City one. However, this combines both of them in one. And while I do think this card is alright, I do have problems with it. For one, it's 144p. Come on, God, like, I get it to save souls, like file size and shit, but come on, pay $50 for a fucking GIF. And the second thing is the fact that you can't combo it. It would have been nice if you could, you know, mix the cards around, even use it on other operators like the background or all that stuff, but since they're both tied to the character, you can't experiment with other cards, and it's just on Valkyrie in that, which kind of sucks. And while the cards are right, it just looks basic. She's just standing there and that, like it could just be a static card, and I would have liked that more. I do in my opinion like static cards more. I don't know, that's just my opinion. And finally, we got the charm, and this is probably one of the best charms in the game. First off, while the charm doesn't really match with the weapon skins, one thing cool about it is it's animated, but not just animated where it's a PNG scrolling, like fully animated, like it's moving, which is sick. It's not very noticeable, but when you do look at it, you kind of see it, and it looks awesome, like really cool in that. I really like how they designed it. As well, the charm is white and light blue, which is perfect if you're going to run it on black eyes because they combo so well. Addition to the charm, it also has like this little mist that it emits, which just looks also really sick, and like it just makes it such a good looking charm, especially if you combo this with black ice, because it kind of feels like the ice is like defrosting and all that. Now, what do I like about the bundle? Now, first off, the most obvious thing is the weapon skins. Not just the Mastercraft, but all of them. They all feel like their own unique skins. While they do follow a similar theme for the legendaries, at least, they all are unique in design. They all have different shapes and different symbols, messages, all this stuff with them. As well, I love how much animation is just in this bundle. The uniform, the gadget, the weapons, all of them all have animation, but tuned to the max for this. Looking at other skins in the game, they have little to no animation in them, and you can't even notice them half the time either. Especially membership skins compared to these, like the Valkyrie bundle, there's no animation in it pretty much. So it's really, I just love how much animation is just everywhere on this. Finally, I love the theme of this skin. Now, I'm not a fucking loser like someone I know about mythology and shit, but I can appreciate cool fucking armor. I just really like this skin, and even removing the animation, it's just so sick looking at it. Especially the fact that the skin has both this military and mythology aspect to it, with her having a tactical helmet and bullet sling, but also having battle armor and magic stuff thingy. Another note to the theme as well is just kind of related to the character, you know, her name being Valkyrie and them being a Valkyrie. Pretty cool. Now, what do I not like about the bundle? And I do have a lot of stuff to talk about it. Now, you might think, oh well, this bundle can't be that good, and yes, there are some bads to the bundle. The selling point of this bundle, of course, is the in-spec animation, which is sick, but while on your screen you'll do your masterpiece animation, to other players you'll just be doing the normal animation. This kind of sucks because you can't flex your skin or your animation, especially if you have a down enemy. But I understand why they probably did this, because, you know, it'll look fucking stupid if you're swinging a sword around. It might look good in first person, but not in third. As well, iron sights. Now, I thought these guns will also change the iron sights for the weapons as well, since the design of it is also changed as well. And I thought, oh, these might be some slick. However, rather than giving you new, unique iron sights, it just plasters the old one onto it, and not even properly. While the deal looks fine because you can put a sight on it, the MPX and Spaz 12 look really bad with iron sights. For one, they made it like float there, rather than, you know, like design the weapons around the iron sights or all the scopes and that. Instead, the iron sights are placed where they should be on the weapon model. However, because like for the Spaz 12 they have like a little dip there, it makes it look pretty bad. Now, obviously they can't make custom iron sights because that would hurt the competitive integrity of the game and make it pay to win, which it kind of is with the operators and that. However, this is being a skin and it's supposed to be a cosmetic. Games like Apex Legends, of course, had this issue with skins and that. So I kind of understand why they can't make custom iron sights, but they should at least make the iron sights look good with the weapons. However, this is obviously a really big oversight that they made. Now, I know this is a bit picky, but it would have been cool, especially for a skin like this, but if her black eyes like disappeared when you throw one, that would have been cool. On her side of her model, you can see 3 black eyes there, and I thought they were going to do something where, like, if you throw the black eye, like one of your 3 black eyes, one of them will disappear at a time before they're all gone. However, they just stay there, and I thought that was a little disappointing. It would have been nice, but still, like, if you went through the votes, you could definitely put black ices on the model, which none of the skins have. Probably a few do, but not on a default model. You should have at least considered adding it, and they probably have, but then, you know, Ubisoft, you know, like, no, just put a bunch of rainbows on it, and call it a day. So yeah. Now here comes the question: should you buy this? Well, no. But that's for the first group. If you don't have money to spend, you don't care about cosmetics, and if you don't play Valkyrie, don't buy this. While you get a bunch of nicks and crannies and skins that you can use on other ops and that, this bundle is mainly for Valkyrie, and you should only get it if you're going to play Valkyrie. However, this bundle does have a lot of value, as you pretty much get a lot of animated skins that are, in my opinion, the best in the game right now. For the price, it's not bad, especially if you compare it to R6 membership. And if you're considering buying the Thunderbird Premier Pack for $60, that gives you enough credits, even without the Battle Pass, to get the skin. Now, I think the pack is pretty good value compared to other stuff, like the Memento skins in events, which are pretty bad. But if you like Siege, play Ops, you have these guns and stuff, definitely buy it. Just remember that this is a cosmetic, and you don't have to buy it. It doesn't affect anything, and I think kind of does in a slight way disadvantage you. However, I like the skin. Finally, my thoughts on the bundle. I love it. I don't have buyer's regret at all, actually, which is surprising. I honestly think I got it for a good value deal here. I was like calculated it, and I got it from $18. So sorry who. I also calculated it, and I got it for $18. So sorry to the suckers who ever bought it for 50 plus. And finally, my final thoughts, and I like it. I was shocked that I didn't have any buyer's regret buying this. Most of the time I do have a lot of buyer's regret buying a lot of stuff, including, you know, Siege skins and that. But here, like, no, I don't have any buyer's regret, really. I like the skin. I especially use it, and I just love all the animated weapons that come with it. I used a charm on a few guns, not just the weapons that come in this bundle. I like the skin. I've gotten a couple games as the MVP, which, you know, is cool. And yeah, I just like it. Every aspect to it, from, you know, the gun skins, the uniform. There are some things I'm disappointed in the bundle, of course, you know, the animated card, which I don't care. That's just Ubisoft's way to bloat the bundle, really, and put more money into it. If I had to rate the bundle compared to all other Elite skins, this would easily be a 10 out of 10. This is by far the best bundle in the game right now. Anyways, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you liked it. Subscribe if you want, like if you want, comment if you want. It's been Buoyant. Peace. I'm out.